Hey y'all, backpackers and travelerinos, welcome to another exciting episode of On the Road at the Speed of Mike. In this episode, we're going to head on the muddy Mississippi, into Mississippi. Actually, we're not going to go to the Mississippi, we're just going to go to Biloxi and Gulf Coast, and that's about it, and then we'll head into Louisiana. So, let's go!
Mississippi is kind of like Alabama, and not just in the sense that their names are made of a single vowel repeated over and over. My first stop in the state was right over the border at the Mississippi Welcome Center, and the surrounding wetlands are really what I kind of expected to see in this part of the country. Going to be in the state for a short time and just see a small portion of it. And while it is a small portion, I think it's one of the more interesting ones in the state. Mississippi's Gulf Coast was hit just as hard, if not harder, than Louisiana during Hurricane Katrina. I've actually been through this part of the state on one of my earlier road trips in 2008. I'm not sure it was the same exact area, but it definitely looked like a hurricane had torn up all the trees and shoreline. On this trip, I'm heading into Biloxi and Gulf Port. It's been a decade since Hurricane Katrina, and while the hurricane had a profound impact on the town's psyche and infrastructure, you might not know it today just by driving around and looking at stuff. Biloxi has a fairly vibrant character, being one of the major U.S. areas, like New Orleans, that celebrates Mardi Gras, having a similar French-Cajun connection like neighboring Louisiana. You can experience this during Mardi Gras or see some lingering decorations in downtown Biloxi or the local Mardi Gras museum. It also has legalized gambling. While you won't find the same grandeur of Vegas or even Atlantic City, it's got some of the same big casino brands you'd recognize in either, like Hard Rock, Harrah's, or Golden Nugget. Being on the Gulf, there's plenty of coastline for sunbathing. I've heard the water can have high bacteria levels at times, so perhaps swimming isn't the best idea. There's several interesting locations along the Biloxi coast. Aside from the casinos, most prominent would be the Biloxi Lighthouse, directly adjacent from the Biloxi Welcome Center. Also is Beauvior, the residence of Jefferson Davis, the Hurricane Katrina Memorial, the city's seafood industry and shipping boats, and one of the better tourist traps I've seen on the road, Souvenir City, which is actually two nearby locations along Biloxi's coastal road, one in the shape of an alligator head and another in the shape of a great white shark. I'm not saying to go to buy anything from these places, as stores specifically targeting tourists oftentimes don't have good deals, but it's certainly an entertaining walkthrough, and there may be a couple worthwhile items. Also off Biloxi's coast is Ship Island. I didn't go here, but this is supposedly a good place for swimming, and it has a fort similar to what we saw at Fort Pickens in the last episode. But since it's only accessible by ship and not by boat, it really was kind of off my itinerary. Following the sun west along Mississippi's coast takes you to Gulf Port. I didn't spend much time here, but I got the impression that it was a little more beachier than Biloxi was. Although that might have been because of the morning fog in Biloxi. There's some water parks and a speedway in Gulf Port, but with the setting sun and desire to continue west, I didn't wait around to check them out.
I hope you enjoyed Mississippi and the Gulf Coast. Up next, we're going to head into Louisiana.